people don't want to feel their pain. Like, yeah, Claridge loves this Navy SEAL David
Goggins. I read his book.
Yes.
I read his book, man. It was so good.
Can't Hurt Me.
Can't Hurt Me. I love that shit.
Oof.
Yeah.
That was so fucking intense.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's Haydosh.
dun, 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 dun,
And Dandy.
dun, 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 dun,
Coming
dun, dun,
at you
dun,
live.
I thought of this when I was listening to your podcast. I can't remember what bit sparked me, but
Yeah.
essentially, here's my thoughts on materialism.
Okay, cool.
I think people build a prison or a cage for themselves through all the objects they have.
Yeah.
So, for example, think of that person that works the job they hate to have the house they want that they never spend time in, considering the job they hate.
Yeah.
Buy the fancy car to drive to the job they hate. Like,
Yeah.
like people just have this thing about wanting more than they need. Like, people drink more than they need, eat more than they need. People want more material goods than they need. And like that creates a cage for themselves in their life. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when you've got a 500 grand mortgage, like some people would say they feel trapped by that stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
So is the cage protective? Is that protective
No,
cage?
it's a
or what do you
prison,
mean?
man. Like,
Yeah, because they hate what they're doing. They're kind of it's like the rat race. People refer to it as that.
Yeah.
People, and it's more like a. I feel like that kind of goes back to the whole societal expectation thing. You know, everyone else is doing this, therefore you have to do it as well to fit in with society. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Particularly, like, that's what boggles my mind. Like, people just getting into ridiculous amounts of debt with mortgages and stuff like that, and being forced to essentially be a slave to a bank, which is going to accrue so much interest over a point in time. You're literally locked into this thing that you have to pay off. You know what I mean? And then people, that's when people do feel trapped. It is a prison because they're going, I am obliged to do this. I've signed a contract. I have to work this job. And I'm not saying that every single person who does do that is in that situation.
Yeah.
But I think that I would say a lot of people are like
Good proportion,
frustrated with their life and have kind of just followed the path of, I would say, of least resistance or just the easiest one available.
What people living the life people expect for them.
Yes, yeah.
And that is easy. Like following
The
expectations
herd,
is
following
easy.
the herd, yeah. Exactly.
It's hard to be a lone sheep. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like standing by yourself, you follow the herd like naturally.
Yeah.
And so even if it's not active resistance, just not doing the things that everyone else is doing is like resistance. So like,
Definitely.
and more effort.
Yeah, and I think like there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it as well. Like obviously the natural desire for greed is a huge part of human nature.
Yeah.
People always kind of wanting more and are never satisfied with what they get. So it's just a perpetuating cycle that never ends.
Yeah,
And then,
it's rough when you realise that there's no end. Even if you buy that car,
you'll still
you
feel
want the next one. Like
Yeah.
you buy that house, I wish you had this. You know.
Yeah, it's never enough. Enough is never enough. And there was also, I thought of also the quote from Fight Club, which is the things you own end up owning you. Which is also
that is the segment which made me think of this.
Yeah.
Hit me once
Which
more
is
time
true.
with that. Let me just.
The things you own
on
end
that.
up owning you.
Okay.
So you're possessed by your possessions.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love the little
Yeah.
quotes and like the
just
same
flip it
words.
around. Yeah, you are literally possessed by your mortgage. You are possessed by your car payments. You're possessed, and particularly another thing that people are possessed by is their phones and shit nowadays. Like phone plans, being addicted to social media, all that kind of shit. People are kind of just cling to it and they're addicted to it. Yeah.
All right, let me riddle this. How do we, for the viewers and watchers, listeners, how do we fix that? How do we escape that?
I think human evolution and evolutionary like psychology hasn't had time to catch up and adapt to this newfound in the last, let's say, between 100 to 250 years of just massive increase in wealth and materials.
We're not really
It's
built
like-
for
it's
our
like-
environment.
No,
Yeah.
it's like you still have just a hardwired mindset to want to gather more possessions and gather more things because it's like, well, that's in the past, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And it hasn't adapted to just things that aren't actually necessary for survival. And it's like, obviously, the past 2,000 years, there was like a gradual increase to more like things you didn't necessarily need. Still, like, it's just gone exponentially crazy in the last, like, even 10 years, it's still gone nuts. And it's like, haven't had time to, like, just appropriately adjust for that.
So we're fighting an uphill battle. So just
It's-
don't
yeah,
worry
it's
about
not-
trying.
It's not, and that it can easily tie back into sort of that being more conscious of things and not just mindlessly doing things, basically.
I guess once you understand why you do what you do, then you have the power to actively reject
the
that.
choice.
If you don't know you're going downstream,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you can't decide to get out.
Swim against the current.
You know? Yeah. Because when you're in the current, it doesn't feel like you're going anywhere.
Nah. Yeah, you just feel like
It's
life is going.
You're
as
passive.
everyone's-
You're not making any movements, and it just does.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that you're moving.
Yeah, and then people go off the waterfall and they're like, "Where the?
Whoa!
How the fuck did this happen?" Like, yeah,
You're traveling 100 k's, and you didn't realize.
yeah. They never realized how fucking like the path they were taking, and then people have like remorse for the current situation. Yeah, I think mindfulness really is the solution to that stuff. Just being constantly aware of what's happening, how you think about things, how your life is going. It doesn't really take necessarily a ridiculous amount of rigorous planning about forward thinking, but it's more just like what's happening right now. How do I feel about things? How do I like things to be? And like, what is the next action I can take right now in this moment that will kind of continue the path that I would like to be on? And it's kind of like small. Like, it is long-term stuff that requires short-term thinking. Yeah.
So like making the habit of like unpacking the reasons why and understanding why you're doing things, and just making little call-outs on yourself, like, oh, wait, why do I want to do that?
Yeah.
Understanding, I only want to do that because of this. And I only want
it's like
that's
having that
because
extra thing.
Yeah.
Where you're not just doing things, you're thinking about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Is it for me or is it for someone else?
call.
Is it to fulfill someone else's expectation?
I push back on just like sort of all necessarily materialism being just like a just horrible, nasty thing that's just destroying society. I think there's a place for it, and you can get like. I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody just getting superficial happiness from having something, but it can go way too far, obviously, where that's all your life has become is superficial happiness. And it's one thing if you're balancing that with also some non-superficial happiness, but I think there are obviously lots of people where that balance is out of whack. I think if it's not, I think having some supplementary happiness from just like fucking playing a video game or something, it's like that's not like, the most like deep thing, but it's like there's nothing wrong with that unless it's just ruling everything. So there are people who go and live in the woods, and it's like all they get is this like. I was like, yeah, okay, great, but like you can't. Not everyone can do that. It's fucking stupid for everyone to think.
I love that shit. I love that shit.
Yeah, I know.
Henry David Thoreau, Walden. That's what he did, man. It's so cool. I love that shit.
Like it's interesting, but it's like.
We should do it.
I
wonder what the practicality of it is. Like, can you just sign up to a thing and just like go to the woods? Like, how do you?
Yeah, it's just interesting.
Can you just do that?
You can. Well, nowadays it's easier. You can just get an RV and like you just live in a mobile home and just do your own thing.
But that's if you want to go truly. Do you want to
nomad?
Yeah. Have you seen the YouTube videos of that guy who made like a hut for himself and like?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, he has like prehistoric technology. Yeah. That's
and it's like that you have to try to balance. I mean, there's a reason why some of these things that are like
toasters
sort of materialistically functional though. Like you could go without it, but they still actually do serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And it's like some of those things are advantageous. They're not horrible things.
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't bring you happiness or serve a purpose. Like playing PlayStation or toasters and that serve a purpose. Like as it like toasters serve a purpose, PlayStations bring you happiness. It's more like everything else. Like a 50 grand car compared to like a 10 grand car. Like it's not serving a better purpose. It's like
transport is transport. The meaning behind it is the same.
It's just people want that like
luxury. They want little pleasures that pretty much living in a capitalist society provides. But I feel like the problem is people who are stuck in that kind of rat race mentality, who don't have other avenues to enjoy themselves, resort to overwhelming themselves with superficial pleasures, which is why you do have like epidemics like obesity and like depression, suicide, like ridiculous anxiety issues. All that kind of stems from just people indulging in instant gratification, things that are immediately available, and they can be solved with just handing over money.
That is so much easier than self-development.
Yeah, exactly.
Like whipping out your wallet, doing a job.
Make me happy.
You just go in and just do it. Then how do I better my life? How do I step out of this and go to the next level and make myself intrinsically happy?
Yeah, exactly. Like exercise is such the simplest way to get self-confidence, get fit, get happy, but it does require that initial effort of pushing yourself,
it's
growing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, growing from trauma, growing from pain. Yeah.
People don't want to feel their pain. Like, Claridge loves this Navy SEAL, David
Goggins. I read his book.
Yes.
I read his book, man. It was so good.
Can't Hurt Me?
Can't Hurt Me? I love that shit, dude. I love that shit. It's sick, though. I love it.
It's a very good story.
Ran on broken fucking legs.
Oof.
Yeah.
That was so fucking intense.
Oof.
I was like,
and then
holy
pissed
shit.
blood and shat himself when he stopped running.
Yeah.
200 miles was his longest run.
Crazy.
Oh,
That's crazy. I was so inspired by that.
Absolutely.
I was like, man, I can fucking... This guy can do that shit. My body can be like fucking... You can just like hit your body with a fucking sledgehammer and it'll grow.
Pain's an output, not an input.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's David Butler.
Yeah.
Let's go turn this into a physio
They want to talk about David Goggins. We talk about David Butler.
My physiotherapist.
Yeah.
What does he say? What does he do?
It's like, there's interesting stuff about pain being an output, not an input, and how you can have... So someone can break their leg in a war situation, they wouldn't notice because it's like in that moment, it's like it doesn't matter. It's like that's not the important thing. But obviously if you break your leg in a normal situation where that's not, they're like that you can just focus on that completely. So that it goes into other things where it's like someone with a minor back niggle might think it's like the worst thing in the world when you just have to sort of explain that there's all this other shit going on in your brain
Specific.
and
There's heaps of cases of people being shot and not realizing.
For
like
there's people who are like
amount of time into it, like, I'm feeling dizzy, and
they're like
someone's like,
70 years old, and it turns out when they were in like World War II they got shot and they've got a bullet like lodged in their
and they
brain.
didn't even literally never realized.
Brain, damn. Surely you'd be like,
maybe not it's not in the brain, but it's like there's ones in like the head, and it's like
just lodged somewhere in the skull, like a ricochet or shrapnel.
It's mad.
That would be. I can believe that. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're literally every second of your life in the trenches is survival. You're not if it's not impacting your performance, it's not critical.
Yeah, if it's not fatal, it's not.
Like if you just get a bit of shrapnel in the side of your brain, it's causing some blood. It's a bit like let me just survive, and then
Yeah. A real minor example of that is when you play sport and you do get like you cop a hit and you, especially in football, like you don't notice it, and then when you end the game, you're like, oh fuck.
Oh yeah, that's why.
Like, damn, what the fuck happened to my leg? I didn't even know that happened.
Sport is war, essentially. Like,
it is. I agree.
They invented sports to keep warriors like sharp.
Yeah, I think
when there wasn't a war.
Really?
Yeah. So like the same principles that apply in war apply in sport.
Yeah,
I think it's
the
like
tactics,
a modern.
the attitudes,
It's a modern like
Yeah.
of like that sort of tribal type warfare.
Yeah, like the camaraderie, having teams and just kind of like
powerful.
banding together.
It's
It's very tribal. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For spectators and players alike, it's all just kind of like a
That gets me. That's crazy when you see
Tribal
the
emotion.
spectator like
Yeah.
European
Hungry for
football
blood. Yeah.
riots.
For the
People
most
getting
part,
killed.
it's a
That's
healthy
full
thing, but it
on.
actually can turn into genuine like tribal violence.
Yeah.
It's like
It's amazing to think that at the end of the day, the root is gone and it's just the tribes left after. Like once you're fighting in the street with the other team, it's not like really because.
what are you fighting about?
Yes,
that's
that like
the-
experiment how.
Pure tribalism is so irrational. I'm from here, so I'm going to fight you because you're from there. There's no actual sense to it.
You bet.
I think there's like it goes
just
back. It goes back.
evolutionary. It's just
It goes back to
evolutionary.
that.
Reptile
It's
brain.
Still, it takes thousands and thousands and thousands of years for your actual brain chemistry to change to the point where that's gonna. It's just basically replacing it with something that's more acceptable in modern society. Like things like self-defense stuff and stuff like that. So many people love because it's just this way of getting out like a sort of aggression that is not acceptable in any way that's not like both consenting adults so they can do whatever they want.
It's very like animalistic. You feel like you're using your instincts. Like it's very natural.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
state to be.
Using your, like what your DNA, your hardwired to do. Yeah, which is like otherwise restrained in common society.
Yeah.
It's like a
That's
good
what
thing,
Rogan
but
talks
it's,
about a lot. Hey,
but it's a good thing that you can also have a vessel for that.
Yeah, definitely. Sport is such a great method for that.
It's like people want to feel safe. Like on the hierarchy of needs, like safety's on there. Like being part of a tribe makes you feel safe.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
people feel like they belong. Like you feel good when you belong to something.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to just be
Yeah.
this random lone wolf. Like
Yeah.
if you're walking down the street with 10 friends, like you feel pretty safe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Walking down by yourself, like
And you see a group of people walking towards you, you feel a bit like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's interesting as well, because I remember I was hearing something about how the strategies for coping that we've evolved to cope aren't really applicable to success in modern society. Do you know what I mean? So all that tribal mentality was very appropriate because you need to stay with the herd, you need to be
Like time relevant.
in a group.
Yeah. It's no longer. Yeah.
It's like being with others, bonding as a team is the strongest way to survive. We have a camp, we are like me and the boys fucking creating this culture. We have this society. We're strong together as a group. We're strong. But now it's much more. If you pursue the path of individualism, I think you will be much more successful.
Do you reckon individualism has like? You reckon that's more powerful?
Well, it depends what you're doing. I think I'm struggling to think of like in a sporting environment context. If you try to be like individual in a team, that can be detrimental.
Yeah, this is where it goes. If you're talking like trying to make money.
Okay.
Yeah, like
that.
entrepreneurism is very.
It's easier by yourself.
Yeah.
because you don't have to accommodate for anyone else.
Yeah, you can be very
have
ruthless,
your own,
and you can
your
be
own
very like
thing. You don't have to like.
and it also benefits you because you're not thinking like the herd.
Well, this is the thing, and business is not a natural thing.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no,
not
look,
a natural state.
It's like it only occurred in the last few
Yeah.
thousand years with like
I
markets
guess
and
so.
stuff.
I would still see a very good strength in numbers. Like the strength
yeah.
in numbers. I mean, a good individual is better than a bad team. But I think a good team can surely
It's better than a good individual.
any individual.
Yeah, it depends what you're talking about though.
What you need is like, it's called a mastermind. It's like you assemble a group of people who each have different skills.
Yes.
And you
So then
harness
you've
them together,
essentially got a
yeah.
superhuman because you
Yes.
add all those skills up to
Yeah.
form like.
Which is a good team. And a bad team,
Yeah, good
dysfunctional team is worse
But how-
than a single focused individual who does
Everyone's
everything.
negatives are coming to the
How many
forefront.
people? How many people in business partnerships end up having a fucked up break to that partnership because it didn't
Backstabbing.
work. But
Well,
even with two people.
What's a business that runs with one person?
Well, see, you always have the CEO.
No, but
at the
obviously,
top, though,
obviously,
you know what I mean?
yeah, but someone had to someone started that.
Okay, all right.
That's not. It's not that you have to run a business based off. That's
Yeah.
not what it's about.
Okay.
I feel
It's about the actual drive to get there versus having three people doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, good call. I agree that with decision making and things like that, in some of those aspects, it's definitely better to do solo.
Yeah.
There's still advantages to
Yeah.
groups, but I think for decision making,
Yeah.
that sort of things, like you're saying,
It's easier to make the decision with one person.
Yeah.
Doesn't
How many
mean
people?
it's
You don't
a
have
better
to.
decision.
If you have a committee, how many committees
Good
and
point.
Stifling
and
everyone.
fucked up, they can't reach a single conclusion
Yeah.
because everyone has different opinions.
Yeah.
Versus if one person is making that might not be the best thing, but in terms of you're actually going to get a pure idea.
a good quote I have from Ricky Gervais is
yeah,
that he
the
loves...
camel.
Yeah.
The camel one.
A camel... a camel is a horse designed by committee.
Yeah.
When you're trying to please everyone and make concessions
You'll fuck up, yeah.
on your vision, I think creatively...
From a creative process.
Yeah, you sabotage your own vision.
Creatively, I absolutely agree. Individual is the strength.
But I
Because
think there
creative vision...
You said it's a business. We're not
Yeah.
necessarily talking about a banking firm.
Yeah.
You could have a creative vision that
Yeah.
ends up being a money making
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But that one person's sole vision on I'm going to make a laptop company, blah blah blah. 30 years ago, obviously we wouldn't have laptops, but that one person's vision versus if you had 10 people trying to reach that.
And there is a lot of issues in America with people trying to create co-op businesses. I think a lot of people have these artesian cafes where they try to be hell hipster and socialists, essentially running a business, and a lot of them do fail because they're just dividing up profits and trying to appease everyone. You just that shitty quote, you're trying to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one, so you'll just collapse. I feel as you were saying earlier, Dan, I feel there is definitely a benefit in teamwork and creating a product. But in my mindset, I was feeling if you have the hierarchy, you will definitely have the CEO, which is the individual, and he's benefiting from all the work of the people below him who have to utilize teamwork to create the product.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, this one individual has created this entire company.
Okay.
And he's benefiting from the backs of others. And then the workers have the mindset of, we as a team, unity, we'll create the product. We will earn more money if we band together. And that's why they always unionize and stuff like that. So they create unions, they create teamwork environments.
Yeah.
Whereas the CEO is just always looking at that going,
Okay.
fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Fuck these losers. Just make the fucking thing and shut up. You know what I mean? They're always
With
just
a cigar in them.
yeah, the classic fat cat capitalism. That individual drive produces a ridiculous amount of money comparison to the small pittance that is allowed to the worker, which is always the whole socialist communist ideology.
Fascinating. I think in that environment, in that structure, we do see the best of both. We see the characteristics of the individual being the CEO who started that and is his individualism created everything that's underneath him.
Yeah.
But we also see the strength of the team below
exactly, yeah.
that
Yeah.
feed up.
Yeah,
They create
and
the product.
you
It's like
you
a
can't have one.
symbiotic
You sort of want both.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need the vision of the man to create, but you also need the employment and the jobs created by this man, which affords people to live well because they work.
Yeah,
and
it's
get
a
money
good
and
call.
stuff like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a place for each. There's definitely a place for when it's going to be best to just do the individual.
Yeah.
And double down on it as yourself, and then when is it best to branch out and incorporate team.
Yeah. It's if you use a basketball analogy, teamwork works to a point, but you need a point where some guy needs to take the winning shot and there needs to be one person. You can't have everyone shoot the ball at once. It needs to be divided into parts.
Individual responsibility.
Yeah, not everyone just touching the ball.
All right, guys.
Utilize the power of the team.
Ready, set, go.
Yeah. You just need to. You need to know when to pick and choose. Yeah.
Good call.
And we're done.
Oh wow.